a unique puzzle game, aerial photography, and a new benchmark in LED TVs? If you're too busy to read this week's tech and gaming reviews, then Totally Rated has got you covered. This week we're kicking things off with a drone. This new model from DJI can hit over 80 miles an hour, so as well as being able to capture snaps from hundreds of feet in the air, it's also a great starting point for budding drone racers. Tom's guide said, "It comes packed with an excellent pair of goggles and flight controls that can adapt as your flight skills improve." It's not cheap, starting at $1,299, but the feeling you get when you don the goggles to take to the skies is unlike anything else. T3 were also impressed, saying, "DJI's first FPV drone is a sensational introduction to the thrills and spills of first-person view flight." Yes, the DJI FPV is not cheap, and yes, you will probably crash it, but we can think of no better way for financially flushed, goggle-wearing wannabe pilots to indulge in the art of freeform flying and high-speed hijinks. T3 gave the DJI FPV drone 4 stars, and Tom's guide went a little higher with an impressive 4.5 out of 5. And now for something that will bring you back down to earth while pulling at every strand of your emotional heartstrings. No, not the realization that you text your ex again after those drinks last night. It's a puzzle game. Wait, what? Oh, I better leave this to Vic from TechRadar to explain.
Marquette's a first-person puzzler game that explores the relationship between Kenzie and Michael. But this isn't just a simple romance tale. Instead, their relationship's told through a series of recursive puzzles and flashbacks. Each puzzle you solve unearths more about their relationship, including both the good and the bad.
An interesting concept then, and GamesRadar's Alex Arvard found out that the puzzles more than matched up.
Each level in Marquette is recursive, meaning that they exist within themselves simultaneously, and the player can use that structure to manipulate the size of objects and progress through the game. Take a key you've used to open a door, put it in a smaller version of the world, and suddenly you've got a giant movable bridge to navigate to new areas. The most interesting part about this effect is that it opens the door to all kinds of creative problem solving that even the developers hadn't intended.
Marquette is free for PlayStation Plus subscribers and strikes a deft balance between mathematical problem solving and heartfelt storytelling, with only a few technical issues holding it back. In the world of TVs, Mini LED was the hot new buzzword coming out of CES this year, and the Samsung QN95A is one of the first consumer models to use the tech. Of course, TechRadar was on hand to put it to the test.
The Samsung QN95A is the company's flagship 4K TV for 2021. And while it doesn't have the 8K resolution of Samsung's more premium sets, it still makes use of some of the biggest improvements Samsung is making this year. That's mainly with its mini LED backlight, which packs in tens of thousands of tiny LEDs in a single compact layer, vastly increasing the number of dimmable zones and ensuring precise brightness control across the screen, with deep blacks and bright highlights to rival even some OLED TVs. With a comprehensive sound system and excellent interface thrown in too, it's very hard not to recommend this 4K TV, though US buyers will have to settle for the QN90A model, which is largely identical other than some different outputs.
And T3 were equally as impressed when they tried out the 65-inch version.
The Samsung QN95A goes an awfully long way towards justifying its $2,999 asking price. It's the most complete LED lit TV we've seen in I don't know how long, maybe ever. From its stunning control of light and dark, to its generous helpings of detail, to its smooth motion controls, it impresses start to finish. As the total image package, it edges out the OLED TVs we've seen so far, but 2021's OLEDs might have something to say about that once they arrive.
A clean sweep across the board for this one, with both TechRadar and T3 awarding it 5 stars. And that's it for this episode of Totally Rated. I'm Tom, and make sure to join us again next time for a snapshot of what's hot and what's not in tech and gaming.